Hey everybody, it's Ricky Rolando here, back with another video. This is going to be Dream Journal number 8, I believe. It could be 9, I think it's 8. And I'm going to call it Cousins Suck. I didn't title it until just now because I didn't title it. So basically what happens in this one is I have a second cousin. He's dead now, but this cousin, whenever I was growing up, he would have these awesome fireworks shows every 4th of July. So he would invite my whole family, which is a big family, and then he would invite all of my cousins, second cousins, my aunts, my uncles, just everybody who had any relation or meaning to him, he would invite. And they would come to his house on 4th of July. And then through something that he did in his work, I think he was a realtor or a contractor or something like that, and somebody who he worked for, I found out, would pay him in fireworks. They didn't have real money. They had like a firework business. And every time they had him do stuff for them, they weren't able to like make all of the payment. So they would give him like loads of like really nice, high quality aerial fireworks. And it wasn't anything like as big or as fancy as what your city might put out. I live in like a medium-sized city where it's like we have a pretty decent-sized fireworks show, but it's not like super amazing and spectacular. But it's not small either. Like you get some big old fireworks. And his were nothing like the city's fireworks, but they were big and well done, and his grand finale was like as insane and poppin' as like the cities were, just not as big of shells. So you would get like as many shells, but the fireworks and the explosions wouldn't be nearly as big. So he would give this badass fireworks show every year, and me and my family would go every year and we'd go watch it. And me and all my siblings were always obsessed with fireworks, so it was always like a blast for us. And basically what happened is, in this dream, for some reason I have this knowledge that my cousin who's hosting the party owns a Game Boy Advance with Super Mario Bros. 2 on it. And I don't know if you played that game, but growing up for me and my siblings, that was like one of the games that got passed around between all my siblings. Like my older sister, my older brother played it, and then I played it, and then I gave it to my little brothers played it, and like pretty much everybody in my family played it at some point or another. Whether they beat the game or not, I don't know. I know me, my older sister, my older brother probably all did. I think my little siblings might have. I mean, as you get older, it kind of got less popular, so it was like they didn't care about as much as me and my older siblings did. But either way, that was like a nostalgic, memorable game for me growing up. And my cousin, for some reason, lost his, or he was missing his, and I knew that while I was at his house. And then I was walking around his house, and he used to just leave his whole house open. You can go walk around his house. You can go in his backyard. You can go in his front yard. You can go eat. You can go to the kitchen. Like, he was always super cool and super friendly how he set up the parties. So at some point while at the party, I found his Game Boy, and it had that game in it, Super Mario Bros. 2, which was like one of my favorite Game Boy games growing up, and still is. It's like still one of my favorite Game Boy games. It was the best. And I found it, so I was like, yo, Edgar, that was my cousin's name. I was like, Edgar, I thought you didn't have a Game Boy Advanced or this game. Like, you told me you lost it. You told me you didn't have it. And then he looks at me like kind of surprised and then kind of mad. And then he's like, you took my Game Boy, didn't you? And I was like, no, what the hell? Like, I just found it. It was on the couch in the other room. And he's like, no, you took my Game Boy. You're a little shit, huh? You just took my Game Boy because you like playing the Game Boy? And he's like going off on me, telling me I stole his Game Boy. And I'm like, dude, I didn't steal your Game Boy. Like, calm down. And then for some reason, I was like going back to my laptop. I was like, no, I have my laptop with me. Like, you want me to prove to you I didn't steal your Game Boy? And like, that sounds funny saying right now, but in the dream it made complete sense. It was like I could open my files on my laptop, show him my files, and then he would know that I never touched, stole, or cared about his Game Boy besides to pick it up and ask him like, you have this. So yeah, it was kind of funny because in the dream, that connection made sense to me. Like, I'll show him my laptop, he'll know I never stole his Game Boy. And in the dream, that was like perfectly sensible. Even he was like, okay, well, let me see your laptop. So I showed him my laptop, and before I showed him all the files and everything on there, I was like, come on, man, like, we're family. This is my laptop. It's got private stuff on here. Are you really going to make me show you some of my private stuff to prove that I didn't steal your Game Boy? And he's like, oh yeah, that's just an excuse. See, you're just trying to make more lies so that you don't have to give me my Game Boy back, so you can not be the person who stole my Game Boy. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll show you everything on my laptop. I don't care if it's private. If you wanna see the private shit just to prove, or just for me to prove to you that I didn't steal your stuff, then okay. But I didn't steal your stuff. So then I start showing him pictures on the laptop, and I go through like 100 pictures, and then all my family is in the room while this is happening. I got like a huge family. There's like 50, 100 people in the area, and all the ones that were in the area when the argument started were all looking at me like, wow, like this guy stole his own cousin's Game Boy, and they're all looking at me like giving me dirty looks and shit. So I'm going through all my pictures, and as I'm going through my pictures, my cousin is realizing like, well, not my cousin, the people in the room are realizing like, oh, hey, this guy's not lying. He's just showing him everything. Like, he's not lying. There's no way. Like, he wouldn't go through every last file on his computer if he wasn't lying. So they were all looking at me, started to take my side. And then my cousin gets all pissed, like, not knowing how to handle the situation. And I guess he just lets me go. I don't really remember, because the next thing that happens still involves my cousin, but I don't remember leaving the party. I don't remember anything else about the party. So now it's like the next day, and I'm outside of this business with my sibling. No, not outside of this business. My bad. I'm with my girlfriend, and we're chilling in a hot tub outside of this hotel or business or something. It's like some big old building, and we're outside of it. I'm assuming it's a hotel because that's what it was like. So I'm in this nice hot tub with my girlfriend at this hotel, and these two big dudes dressed in like nice, fancy, like almost Men in Black type suits come up, and they start walking towards me and my girlfriend. So I like go over to my girlfriend, kind of lean in. I'm like, hey, babe, I think these people are coming to come tell us some shit. We should get out of here and leave. So she's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, let's go. So we both get up and we leave the hot tub. And we start leaving the building, leaving the hotel. And we leave and we get outside of the front. And I'm still in my, like, my swim trunks with no shirt on. And I don't remember what happened to my girlfriend at this point. I think she just kind of went and did her own thing. And I never really bothered to check up on her in the dream. I know it sounds mean. In real life, I definitely would have. But either way, so I leave the hotel, I'm walking, and I go out to this busy main road. And in the busy main road is my dad and my stepmom. And they're parked in this car, and I'm like, yo, Pops, I think these guys are trying to kill me, and I think Edgar hired them. And my dad's like kind of confused, like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, remember how that thing happened at Edgar's house the other day? Well, today, I saw these two big guys, and they were coming at me. And I think they stole my ID. And this is like the first time the ID popped up into my head in the dream. But at that point in the dream, I realized I didn't have my ID anymore. And those guys had stole it. And I don't know how I knew those guys stole it, but I just knew it. So I was like, and those guys stole it. They stole my ID, and they were coming to kill me. So my dad was like kind of like angry and kind of freaked out at the same time. He's like, okay, well, let's figure it out. So at this point, once again, I don't really remember what happens or why I ended up going to a new place. The next thing you know, I'm outside of Edgar's building that he works at. And Edgar, the whole time he was alive, as far as I can remember, he was always kind of like a boss type guy. He was always his own boss. He never worked for somebody that I knew of. So I imagined this building being like his building, and he's in charge of everybody in it and stuff. And basically what happens in this building is I get there with my brother and this guy, Adrian. And my brother and this guy, Adrian, we all came on our longboards, and we went to go pick up our longboards, and we were going to go leave from there. And I don't remember why we went there, why our longboards were there, or why we were about to leave. But I do remember all of our longboards were up against a wall with a door right next to it, and the door was the entrance to the building, but it was more like a fire exit. It wasn't like the main entrance. It was like a building where people could enter or exit, but it was more meant like for people to exit during emergencies. And we put all our boards there. I don't know why. I just remember we found them there. And basically what happens is we're about to leave this place, and we get to where our boards are. And there's like Adrian's longboard, which is like a normal longboard. And then I had like a cruiser, which was like a little Sector 9 cruiser that was kind of shaped like old cruiser boards, like a Powell Peralta type board or something. And then my brother had his regular skateboard with big old longboard wheels on it. And then my board, out of everybody's, was the only one that was messed up. And mine, they had all of the like nuts for the wheels were there, but all the wheels were gone. And then only one of the nuts for the wheels was missing, or maybe more of them. That was what I drew in the picture, was one of the nuts was off and on the floor. The rest of them were like barely twisted on, and then the wheels and bearings were gone. And then for some reason all the kingpins were really, really loosened, so the trucks were kind of like wobbly and loose. Like In the picture, you could see one of them is like kind of hanging crooked. That's because they loosened the kingpin so much that that side just limped it down. So in the dream, that was how it was, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like pissed because instantly I knew it was Edgar, and I was like, wow, freaking Edgar is so petty. And I was like so mad. I was like, this guy is just a scumbag. Like, he's just ruining my life. Like fuck Edgar. I was so mad. So I went inside, went to his office, and I like called him out. I was like, Edgar, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you really think I stole your Game Boy? You really that petty and that pissed off at me? You're gonna take the wheels off my cruiser? Like, what kind of asshole are you? And I was like all mad, just going off on him. He's like, I didn't do any of that shit. Like, just trying to play it off like he didn't do anything. Because all of his coworkers were in the room. Because he worked in like a room where nobody had their own offices. Like a big open room, and everybody just had their desks in different areas of the room. So like all of his coworkers were looking at him like, wow, you did that? Like kind of looking at him the same way that my family was looking at me whenever he accused me of stealing his Game Boy. So then he's like, no, bullshit, and he's like calling me out, trying to make me look stupid in front of all these people. All these people kind of start glancing towards me now. So I'm like annoyed. So I'm like looking around his area, like trying to find evidence that he was out to get me. And I find a piece of paper on the floor with my name on it. My name. It says Rolando Cadena on the bottom. And on the picture I drew Ricky Rolando so you guys can know. But either way, so yeah, it has my name on it, and I'm mad. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, this paper has my name on it. Like, you don't even have anything to do with me. Why is this paper on the floor? And next thing you know, I noticed by where the paper was, there's a trash can. Inside the trash can is the wheels to my longboard, or my cruiser, I mean. So I'm like, oh, look, and then this paper, wait, are those my fucking wheels? And then I point to the trash can, and I'm like, those are my fucking wheels. You did take my wheels, you fucking liar. And I like called him out, and I was pissed. So I'm like going off on him, cussing at him, and just mad. Like you did take my fucking wheels. So I'm pissed. He took my wheels. He was trying to lie about it. He was trying to be cool about it, but he failed. So I'm mad, and then I grab my wheels out of the thing, and I'm like, all right, like, fuck you then. And then I leave the whole building. Me and my brother and Adrian leave. And then next thing you know, he comes running out the building. And I'm back in the car with my dad for some reason. I'm telling my dad what just happened. Like this guy, he took my wheels off. He's trying to blame it on me, and then like trying to make me look like a fool and this stuff. So I'm like going off, telling the whole story to my dad. And then Edgar comes running out of the building, and he's like, hey, Ron. He's coming to my dad. My dad's name. I don't know if he wants me to say it, but it's my name. And so he comes up to my dad, and he's like, your son doesn't value a job. Your son doesn't value $5 million. And I don't know where $5 million came from, but he said $5 million, like as if me taking the wheels out of the trash can and embarrassing him in front of his coworkers was worth $5 million. Like, that was literally how he came up to my dad and said I did something. Your son doesn't value $5 million. So I just told my dad, like, that's bullshit. He did all this stuff, and I just told my dad the story, and my dad, of course, believed me. And then Edgar kind of leaves all pissed, and I just woke up, but I don't remember why I had that dream, why Edgar was being that way or anything. I just remember it was really weird and really dumb. And I never had a close relationship with Edgar. I can't even remember a single time I had a full conversation with that guy. I was always too young to really do that. Like, he died whenever I was like probably 17, 18, and growing up, we would go to his house every year, one time a year only, and I would talk to so many other people, and him, it was just like, hi, Edgar. So I never knew him, but it was like such a weird dream because this guy was like the main person in it, and he's like out to get me, and it was weird, but it was a funny dream. I thought it was really interesting. I hope you guys like this dream journal. Thanks for watching. One thing I neglected to mention was that after Edgar came up to my dad and like started going off on my dad talking about the $5 million, for some reason I was still in his office, and I was like having to escape it. So I leave the office, and as soon as I leave the office, all these cars pull up around it, and they're all like, not police cars, but kind of like in the movies whenever the black SUVs all pull up and like random people come out. It's kind of like that. They're like all these FBI agent type dudes who came out of the cars, and they were like trying to hunt me down and catch me so that I didn't get away like with the knowledge I had about Edgar. And it was so weird because like they were like out to get me. Like it was like a whole government thing and stuff. So it was weird. But I got away and I was fine. But yeah, that's the real end of this stream. I hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching.